Hello everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. As you guys know, there has been a lot of fascinating and interesting news coming from Japan about new Toyota products this year, next year, and beyond. One of them, of course, is Mini Land Cruiser FJ, which we are all excited about, but there's even more amazing news coming up 2026 and beyond. And two of those vehicles are something that we talked about a little bit in the past, but now we have confirmation from the Best Car magazine in Japan that Toyota MR2 and Toyota Celica are definitely returning. They said that, mark their words, this is no longer speculative, no longer just rumors, but they have heard from their own sources the MR2 and Celica, which by the way we pronounce Celica here in Canada, are returning for 2026, which isn't too far away. So let me get into a lot more details about what they're saying in terms of what this MR2 could look like and the type of powertrain it might have, as well as a Celica. But today I'm going to really focus on MR2 because that's the most exciting news. So let's focus now. According to Best Car magazine, the Toyota MR2 is no longer a speculation. They said they know for sure it's coming back in the year 2026, which is about a year and a half away or so from now on. And they say that this is going to be a pure sports car designed, engineered, and developed by Toyota, not in partnership with BMW or anyone else, and that it is going to have all-wheel drive, which is really surprising because you think MR2 should be a classic two-wheel drive type of vehicle, but no, they're saying that's going to be all-wheel drive, and it's going to be equipped with not the 1.6-liter turbo 3-cylinder engine from a GR Yaris or GR Corolla, but will be equipped with a brand new 2-liter turbocharged engine that the president of Toyota, Koichi Chao, just announced a couple months ago. Koichi Chao, in that very important global news conference, introduced two engines, 1.5-liter and 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engines, and they said that these engines are more compact, smaller, and less tall than any other previous engines produced, so that the hood line can be lower, it could be equipped into much more compact vehicle, and that they can also be used in conjunction with a hybrid. But back to MR2, Best Car magazine say it's not going to be hybrid, it's not going to be EV, which is what we thought might happen based on Japan Mobility Show last year, but instead it's going to be using this 2-liter brand new turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that was just barely announced because we haven't even seen an actual final product of that engine yet. So that's super exciting. I'm still surprised that they're claiming you'll be all-wheel drive, not front or rear wheel drive, and that it will be available with a 6-speed manual transmission. So you heard it right, 2-liter turbocharged engine, all-wheel drive, 6-speed manual transmission with optional automatic, of course, all part of a package for this exciting MR2. Now they are saying they could look something like this, which is their rendering, and of course this is pretty speculative in terms of design, so I'm not quite convinced that it's going to look like this yet. But Best Car magazine, more than any other media sources, have been pretty accurate with their speculative rendering and drawing for many vehicles down the road. So if someone's going to get it right, it's going to be the Best Car magazine, and therefore it could look something like this. Now notice that they purposely put the GRMN label, not GR label, saying that there could be a track version or pure racing version that could also debut at the same time as a normal GR version of MR2. So who knows if those things will actually happen, but according to Best Car magazine, this is all going to happen in 2026. And they're saying that 2026 is going to be a super busy year because the Toyota Celica, or Celica, depending on which country you live in, we pronounce it Celica here in Canada, is also coming out in the same year as MR2, which seems odd. Why would they introduce two sports cars? But they are saying that the reason why the two cars, the Celica and the MR2, can coexist is because of the fact that they are catered for different audiences. The MR2 will be for pure sports car fans, and it will be midship or mid-engine design and configuration with the 2-liter turbocharged engine, all-wheel drive, whereas Celica will also have the 2-liter engine, also 4-wheel drive, but it will not have the mid-engine design, but more of a traditional front engine configuration, and therefore the two will not compete directly. Not only that, MR2 once again is kind of catered to the pure sports fans, and then the Celica is supposed to be for more of a luxury coupe or upscale version of the sports coupe, and therefore we're targeting a different kind of buyers altogether. Also, the pricing will be quite different between the MR2 and the Celica, because they're saying that MR2 will likely be a limited edition model and it could be as much as $70,000 to $80,000 US, whereas the Celica will be priced much more in affordable price range, perhaps $40,000 to $50,000. These are obviously pretty speculative at this moment, but the pricing alone also differentiates the MR2 from the Celica. So the Celica will be a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit more comfortable based on different platform, but in both cases, the MR2 or Celica, they're saying it's going to be pure gasoline, not a hybrid, and not EV. So those are some good news for those of us who really want the gasoline engine to stay in this market and continue to dominate the industry. But I still think that Toyota will introduce hybrid version of these vehicles just because that's where the future is, and at some point a full EV version as well, because that's also the direction of the industry. And because these new engines that Koichi Chao introduced are claimed to be workable with a hybrid system, and therefore there's absolutely no reason why they wouldn't introduce hybrid version of the MR2 or the Celica. So what do you guys think of these news? It seems a little bit odd that Toyota will introduce two sports cars in 2026. So I have a little bit of a doubt about that. I think it's going to be one or the other, as opposed to both of them coming out in the same year, 2026. But the Best Car Magazine editors are saying that they're very sure about it, that they know it sounds weird, but they heard from many sources that both will come out in the same year with a different platform, with a different powertrain. One catered to a pure sports car fan, one catered to more of an upscale coupe fan, and that they both have their place in the industry, and therefore it's not a problem introducing both of them. By the way, they're also saying that either the MR2 or the Celica will really replace the Supra, because Supra, which is partnered with BMW, just have to disappear due to the fact that it's not selling all that well. And maybe the name Supra got a little bit tarnished because of its collaboration with BMW, and people are now associating Supra with being more of a compromise vehicle as opposed to a pure Toyota vehicle, because people really want Toyota to design, engineer, develop, manufacture, and deliver a sports car, not in collaboration with another brand. If you're one of those people who really want the pure Toyota sports car, well, you're in for a treat, because both of them should be a pure Toyota sports car, and both of them should come out in the next couple of years. I am sure there will be a lot more news to come out in the next coming month, along with Mini Land Cruiser FJ news as well, because that's supposed to debut this year, not in a year or 2 years. So that news is more imminent, and we should be hearing about it very soon. And then maybe the MR2 news will come out next year at the Japan Mobility Show, which is October of 2025. That sounds about the right timing to introduce a 2026 model year vehicle. And maybe the Celica will either be introduced at the same time or soon after the MR2. It sounds to me like the MR2 is further ahead in the development than the Celica. So I think the MR2 will come out first, and then followed by Celica if both will indeed be introduced to our market. Now, will they both come to North America? I believe so, because they need enough volume to justify the existence of these models, because if the capacity is too low and they don't sell too many, then it's going to get canned, simply because Toyota's economics folks won't support cars that have a really low production numbers. So let's hope that MR2 and maybe the Celica 2 will come to North America, will come to the US and Canada, and we get to enjoy these glory days again with the beautiful Toyota designed sports cars. And believe me, this is the biggest news of this year, even though these vehicles might not come out for a couple of years, because, well, who doesn't love MR2 and Celica as a brand name and as a brand product? So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's so many interesting news coming from Japan. I will be going back to Japan in a few months again, so hopefully I'll hear a little bit more about these new models, which is a Land Cruiser FJ, MR2, the Celica, and many more new models that will likely come out in the next couple of years. It sounds like it's going to be exciting news for Toyota overall, and I can't wait to find out more about these products so that I can share with you the latest news. You heard it here first, believe me, about the MR2, about the Celica, and of course I've been talking about the Land Cruiser FJ as well. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, make some comments, and let me know what you think. And if you haven't done so yet, would you kindly subscribe as well. Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.